Okay, class, this is part one of the Excel DSS project. Today we are just going to do some research on Yahoo Finance and download the stock information for our company and for our three main competitors. So go to finance.yahoo.com. That's right here, finance.yahoo.com. And at the top, type in the name or the ticker symbol of the company that was assigned to you um, at the beginning of the course. I'm going to use Google as my example. You'll probably have something different. Just make sure whatever you select, it's an equity from either the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, which is NYSE. Google has a couple different stocks here, including they have one on the Swiss market. We do not want to use that one. We want to use this one. So I'm going to click on Google. This is the Google homepage, and click on historical data. So you'll have your company's information here, and you click on historical data. Okay, now at the beginning of the course or the beginning of the project, I assigned a specific time period. I need you to enter the start date here and the end date here. It's going to be different depending on when the actual course takes place, but just keep in mind that this start date and end date that was assigned to you needs to be used throughout this entire project. When you click done, you should see the time period changes here. However, the table with the information has not changed. You want to hit apply and force that change. In this year, December 31st ended on a Saturday, and the market was not open on the Saturday. Therefore, it defaulted to December 30th. Just make sure that all the data that you have kind of falls in the same way. So we have Google, we have our time period, we hit apply, and now we're going to download the data. And this will be the foundation of our project. Okay, so here's the spreadsheet. You have a date column, what the stock opened at that day, the high it reached the day, the low it reached that day, the closing price, and you have adjusted close, which is adjusted for inflation, and the volume, which is the number of stocks traded that day. I need you to delete columns B, C, and D, the open, high, and low, and delete the adjusted close. The only things you should have left is the date, the closed, and the volume columns. Just 3 columns. Let's save this as our DSS project Google. Okay, and you will use whatever company that you were assigned. Okay, so that is part one. Part two, we're going to add our competitors. Now, this is where you may want to hit pause on the recording and just do a little research. Go bring up a web browser, type in your company's name, see what industry it's in, and perhaps you can kind of glean some of its competitors. You also have over here, people also watch. Most of the time, direct competitors to the company that you're researching will appear here. So we have Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Tesla. Apple, Facebook, and probably even Amazon are going to be pretty close competitors to Google. Netflix, not as much. And even though Tesla is a tech company, they produce cars, I wouldn't necessarily say they're a direct competitor to Google, even though Google may be working on an automated car. But for the most part, these two are definitely competitors. You can probably throw in Amazon, but I definitely wouldn't add these two. So I am going to, let's say Facebook. I think we decided that was a good one. And again, make sure it's NASDAQ or NYSE. not Mexico or Swiss or Frankfurt, Germany. You want to use this one. And you can see the change here in the name, stock price. Fortunately, my date stayed the same. However, it was not applied to the actual data here, so you do have to hit apply again. Okay, that looks good. We're going to download that data. We're going to save it to the desktop or save it to our download folders. And we're going to type in our next competitor. I'm going to select Twitter. That's a decent competitor. They are traded on the New York Stock Exchange. And here's the date. It stuck for me, but did not apply down there. So I'm going to hit reapply and download the data. Save it. And finally, I'm going to use Snap, which is Snapchat. I don't want to mix it up with Snap-on Tools or Dr. Pepper Snapple. I'm just going to use Snap. And again, you're going to use your third competitor that you've selected. Here's the date. Did not get applied, so I will hit apply. And nothing happened. So I'm going to look into this one more time. I'm going to hit apply and see what is going on. Okay, well, here's the thing about Snap. Snap was introduced in March of 2017, so it did not exist between this start date and this end date. So I cannot use this company as a competitor. I need to pick a different company. So I'm going to pick Microsoft because they are a direct competitor to Google. And then, you can see my date here, good. I'm going to hit apply and see if that helps. And it looks like it did. So I'm going to download Microsoft. If you do not have all the dates filled in from the start to the end, you're not going to be able to do this project. So here's my Microsoft data. Now I'm going to open up my Facebook spreadsheet, and I'm going to move over to the close column, which is column E. I'm going to change the name close to Facebook. I'm going to copy this column, and I'm going to paste it into column D. Okay. Then I'm going to open up Twitter, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to close column. I'm going to call this column Twitter. You'll call it to whatever the competitor's name is. Copy that and paste it into, excuse me 1 second here. My project disappeared. Here you go, Twitter, paste it there. If you run into something like this, well, this isn't showing up, but if you run into something maybe like this where you see these hash marks, that's just because your spacing needs to be adjusted a little bit, okay? But looks like everything is coming in smoothly. I'm going to go into Microsoft, get the Microsoft data here, change the close to Microsoft. You'll be using the name and the stock of your third competitor, and I'm going to drop it into here. All right, we're looking good. We're going to do a quick check now. We can see they all started, they all existed in at the start date. Let's scroll down just to make sure that there is data for everything. Well, look at here. For whatever reason, Twitter stopped trading, or they stopped collecting data on Twitter in February of 2016. So we cannot use this data. There's just way too much data that's blank. We cannot use it. So we are going to delete this column. If you run into the same issue with one or more of your competitors, you have to do the same thing. You have to delete it, and you need to go back to your Yahoo and find a different competitor. I'm going to choose Apple, and make sure my dates are proper. Hit apply. Make sure that this changes. Download this data. And we're going to copy and paste that same field after changing the name of the close. Okay. And run our test, our eyeball test. And it looks like everything is perfect. Okay, with that, hit save. And this is the end of part 1. In part 2, we are going to fill these columns with market data such as interest rates, CSI, and commodity prices.